Hi, Phil from Salt Consulting. I know I said I wasn't going to do a video post for a while, but I've been thinking this week about robust conversations based on an interaction I had earlier this week, and I'll come back to that. But robust conversations, what do I mean by that? That's a conversation where we have given each other, either implicitly or explicitly, permission to be frank. Why is that important? Well, particularly I think in development situations, and I referred to this in the post that was up a few weeks ago, particularly in development situations, we as practitioners enter those with a lot of power. We come into those to do analysis or to conduct research or to do an evaluation or to talk to people, do a needs assessment, whatever it might be. And on the basis, ostensibly, of analysis, objective analysis, we go away and make decisions. But really, there's a lot more that goes into that in terms of impressions and conversations and the people we met and how we felt and what we saw. And some of those relationships and conversations can be marked by substantial power imbalances. And I've referred to that before, and I'll come back to that again in future posts as well. But one of the ways we can try to counter that power imbalance is by saying up front, let's be really straight with each other. Let's talk frankly to each other. If there's something you need me to hear, draw my attention to it. And if it seems like I haven't heard it, tell me straight. Go back and say, no, Phil, you need to hear this. Or something to that effect. And then I might give an example of what I mean by that. And that might seem obvious to some people, and certainly there's some people who don't need any encouragement to have robust conversations, but I've found that drawing attention to that as a principle and giving people permission, and myself permission, just kind of opens the door to that and can help that process begin. Now, it won't work for everybody, and it won't work in all situations, but I think it's a really key principle that we have conversations where people who are in positions of vulnerability or marginalization and who may not be used to being able to speak frankly, that we take the step, or that the permission is provided for that open and frank conversation to take place. So the example I referred to earlier was a conversation I had with some people from the Northwest earlier this week, from an Indigenous community, and it was clear right from the outset that these were people who understood, perhaps through long and hard experience, that the only way to represent their agenda and the agenda of their community was to be robust and frank and candid and persistent about it. And so from the outset, they knew what they wanted, and they knew what they wanted to say and how to say it. And I think that conversation was satisfying for us all because there was this sense of openness that characterized it from the start. So it was a really good meeting. The other example I wanted to quickly give is sometimes you can find in local cultures or in local experience examples that illustrate this process of being open and frank and just saying what you need to say. And there's a story it's too long to go into, but it's from Afghanistan. It's a joke that's told about a guy who dreams of peaches, but he's dreaming of them, and he just, instead of saying the whole word peaches, he just goes peach, peach. And his housemate gets so sick of him just mumbling this that one night he wakes him up and shakes him and says, "Stop saying pea, just say peach, say the whole thing." Sounds a lot better in Persian. But the meaning of that is, don't mumble and fluff around, just get out and say it. So using that as an illustration to this process worked really well in that culture, and I'm sure there's other examples that you could find from your own context. So have a think about robust conversations in your workplace and how you can promote those. Thanks.